Welcome to my YouTube channel Janit for the JEE and NEET aspirants. So you just change the value of theta based on whatever the condition they have given. So you will get the center of mass for different shape. For a circular arc, that means for a ring shaped I am talking about. As you know that this is the axis of symmetry or the angular bisector. The angle which is made at the center from these two extreme ends is 2 theta. So please remember this thing. Please don't do this mistake. The total angle I am taking as a 2 theta. So the x center of mass is nothing but r sine theta divided by theta. So you just change the value of theta, you will get the center of mass for different shape. Okay. So I will discuss both the cases. For a circular plate, if I will talk about, so again at the extreme end, it is making from the extreme end, it is making an angle of 2 theta at the center. This is r. So x center of mass, if I want to write it, what is this? 2r sine theta 2r sine theta divided by 3 theta. Okay. Semicircular ring. That means if the semicircular ring, can I say the 2 theta value is pi? Okay. So I have taken the 2 theta from the extreme end. If you see, if this 2 theta is pi, then it will become a semicircular. So 2 theta is pi, that means the theta value is pi by 2. And you know that the x center of mass, so in this case, it will become y because it is a axis of symmetry is y. So I can write as a YCM is nothing but r sine theta divided by theta. Fine. So r sine theta means sine pi by 2 divided by what is this value? Again pi by 2. So you will get 2r by pi. So same expression you got if you see in the previous slide, in which I have talked about the semicircular ring, which is nothing but 2r by pi. Now let us suppose if it is a quarter ring. Okay, that means in this particular case, can I say the 2 theta value is pi by 2, not pi? So theta value is pi by 4. This is the angle bisector, that means this is the axis of symmetry. So I can calculate this center of mass of this quarter ring, this one. But we want to calculate the x and y coordinate. First of all, what you will do, you will calculate the center of mass of this quarter ring from this origin. And then once you will take the cos and sine component, you will get the value of YCM and XCM. Okay, so the R is nothing but R sine theta divided by theta. So what is the value of theta? Theta is pi by 4. This is pi by 4. So once you will solve, then you will get as 2 root 2 divided by pi into r. Very simple. Sine pi by 4 is 1 by root 2 and this is pi by 4. So you can simplify, you will get the 2 root 2 r divided by pi. This is basically the center of mass of this quarter ring from the origin. Now you have to calculate what is the center of mass coordinate. That means x coordinate and y coordinate. What is x and y? So can I say this is nothing but the 45 degree because the total is 90 degree. So you can take this XCM is nothing but R cos of 45. Similarly, YCM, we can say that R sine 45. That means you have calculated the center of mass coordinate, X coordinate as well as the Y coordinate. R value you already know, cos 45 1 by root 2. Once you will solve, you will get the value of 2r by pi, and this is also 2r by pi. Okay, 2r by pi. So this is for a semicircular ring and quarter ring. So any particular angle you can easily calculate. Just to draw an angle bisector, calculate the center of, we can say that the center of mass position. For calculating the coordinate, you take sine component and cos component. Fine. So this is regarding the circular ring. So suppose I have talked about for the lamina also. So how to calculate for the lamina? So this is nothing but circular plate or lamina, circular plate or lamina. The XCM in this case, angle bisector is this one, x-axis. So 2r sine theta, 2r sine theta divided by 3 theta. Again, the angle made at the center is 2 theta. Now you can check here. I am talking about this circular plate case. So let us suppose if this 2 theta is pi, that means it will become a semicircular lamina. Semicircular lamina. So if 2 theta is pi, can I say theta is equal to pi by 2? Right? That means y center of mass for this semicircular lamina, which you already know 4r by 3 pi, that I'm discussing how that result came by using this standard result. So 2r sine pi by 2, 3 into pi by 2. Fine. So what is this value? Sine 90 is 1, and this will become 4r by 3. Now you can check where I have given you the derivation for the semicircular lamina, you got the 4r by 3. Okay, so these are some of the standard results you have to remember for solving the problems. So I have summarized all those standard results, the center of mass. So the center of mass for a standard shape, for example, for a ring of radius r, which is 2r by pi, for a semicircular disk, which is 4r by 3 pi. Similarly, you can calculate for hemispherical shell, which is r by 2 from the base. And for a solid sphere, it will become solid hemisphere. It will become 3r by 8 from this base point only. Okay. And for a solid cone, it will become h by 4, where h will be the height of the cone. This is for a solid. And for a hollow cone, it is nothing but h by 3. H by 3. Okay. So these are the standard results you have to remember for solving the problems. Fine. So I have talked about how to calculate the center of mass in case of a point mass case, and when the mass is distributed. Now I am talking about when more than one body are attached. That means how to calculate the center of mass for a composite body. So center of mass of composite body means, well, let us suppose this is the one body having a mass m1 and this is the another body mass m2. Now I want to calculate what will be the center of mass for this composite body. How to get this? So RCM is nothing but m1 RCM1. That means the mass m1, the center of mass for the first one, and let us suppose this is the second body. Similarly, m2 RCM2 divided by m1 plus m2. Very simple. So whenever there more than one bodies are there, then you can use this relation. The center mass coordinate will be nothing but m1 into RCM plus m2 into RCM2 divided by total mass. Okay. Now, so this composite body concept you can use for additive system as well as the subtractive system. What it means, when the two bodies are attached together and it is attached together in such a way, they are forming an additive system. That means this is basically a first body and second body having a mass of 4m, and this is mass, I mean mass will be m. Now, if you want to calculate the center of mass of this composite body, this is an additive system. One body and second body both are attached. There may be a possibility if you are removing some of the portion from the first body, that is called as a subtractive system. So I'm talking about first of all the additive system. How to get the value of XCM? You know that M1 XCM1 plus M2 XCM2. What is this 1 and 2? 1 and 2 is corresponding the first body and second body. Fine. If you see here, I have written in the form of general form, that is the vector r vector. So r is nothing but x I cap plus y j cap. So if I want to write down for x, I have to compare with the x coordinate, and if I want to write down for a y, compare the j coordinate. Okay. So m1 xcm1 plus m2 xcm2 divided by m1 plus m2. XCM is nothing but, what is the mass m? 4m. What is XCM? That means the center of mass of coordinate of first body is nothing but a comma a, because this is basically a 2a, this is also 2a. The center of mass will be at a and a. What about this one? The center of mass will be at this point only. Okay. For calculating the center of mass, you have to take from the reference. I am just measuring all the distance from this origin. Okay. So this is nothing but, this is 2a, this is 2a, and this is a by 2. So 2a plus a by 2, which is nothing but 5a by 2. So this is nothing but 5a by 2, and y coordinate will be a by 2. So now you got the x center of mass for the first body and the second body also. Okay, the mass is already given. Now you can easily calculate 4m into a plus m into 5a by 2 divided by m1 plus m2. What is m1 plus m2? 4m plus m, which is 5. So xcm you will get, this is nothing but 13, and this 2 into 5 will become 10, and this is a. Okay, so x center of mass you got as 13 a by 10. Fine. Now if you want to calculate the y center of mass coordinate, so ycm, can I say m1 into ycm1 plus m2 ycm2 divided by m1 plus m1 plus m2. What is y coordinate? Y coordinate for the first body is a, and the another will be a by 2. So 4m into a plus m into a by 2 divided by, what is this value, m1 plus m2, which is nothing but 5m. So if you will simplify, you will get as 4m, this will be 8, 8m plus m will be 9m. So that means 9a, mm will cancel out, 9a by 10. So xcm and ycm you already got, which is nothing but 13a by 10 and the 9a by 10. Fine. Now the next one will be the using the negative system. That means for a negative system, how to calculate. So for based on the mass concept, that means let us suppose this is basically a one square cross section, which is side is 2a. Okay. Now if I am taking a small portion, which is nothing but this one, having a side is a, that means you have to calculate the center of mass of this shaded portion. What you will do again, xcm 4m into, what is the center of mass of the first body? First body is this one. First body is complete body, which is center of mass is a comma a. Then the second body is this one. The center of mass will be, what is the center of mass coordinate? Center of mass coordinate will be nothing but, I'm talking about this one. So what is this value? 4ma minus 4m into a minus m into 3a by 2. 4m into a minus m into this 3a by 2, because this is complete a, and the center of mass of this second portion which we have taken out, which is nothing but a plus a by 2 is 3a by 2, and this value is a by 2. Okay, so this is nothing but 3a by 2 divided by the total mass. Total mass will be nothing but 4m minus m. Why we are using the minus sign? Because we are subtracting from the small portion, from the large portion, this is small portion. Okay, so once you will solve, you will get the value of 5a by 6. Now if you want to calculate for a y center of mass coordinate, what is this? 4m into y coordinate is nothing but a minus m into a by 2, m into a by 2. Okay, so this is 4m minus m. So once you will solve, then you will get 7a by 6. Okay, so this is mass based. So for example, if the question is basically given in terms of area, because this is basically a big circle whose radius is a. Now you are taking a small circle whose the diameter is a. That means the radius will be a by 2. So what you will do? Again, you can use the same concept. This is basically a subtractive system or negative system. So a1 x1 minus a2 x2. a1 x1 minus a2 x2 divided by a1 minus a2. So here I have talked about m1 x1 minus m2 x2. Okay, divided by m1 minus m2. So now I have talked about the area. Now then after that I will try to focus on in terms of volume based. Okay, so area a1, if I will talk about, what is the area? Pi a square, because the radius is a. X1, x coordinate is, so what will be the center of mass of this, which is nothing but a comma 0. A comma 0, I am talking about this complete body. Center of mass is a comma 0. Area will be pi a square. So can I say this is nothing but a minus a2 value is, which is nothing but the second area. Second area means the smallest area. The smallest area is nothing but, can I say this is pi, r is a by 2, that means a square by 4. What is the x2 value? X2 value is nothing but, this is basically a. What is this distance? A by 2. So a plus a by 2 is 3a by 2. So 3a by 2. What is the a1 minus a2? So a1 minus a2, if I will write it, so pi a square minus pi square by 4. Okay. So once you will solve, you will get the value of, let me solve in the next slide. So the same problem they have asked in the JEE 2021. I will show you that question. This is the question. Same question they have asked in JEE 2021. Okay, so a circular hole of radius a by 2 is cut from a circular disc of radius a as shown in figure. The centroid of the remaining circular portion. The XCM, if I will write it, what is this value? This is pi a cube minus 3 pi a cube by 8 divided by, what is this area? Pi a square minus pi a square by 4, that means 4, 3 pi a square, 3 pi a square divided by 4. So once you will simplify, you will get as 5 pi a cube divided by 8, and this will go in the numerator 4 by 3 pi a square. So what is this value? 5 by 6a. Is there any option? Yes. So the x center of mass you have to calculate, which is nothing but 5 by 6 into a. Okay, so that means option A is the correct one. You can calculate the YCM, but the YCM will be 0. YCM will be 0. You can check it. So A1 Y1 minus A2 Y2 divided by A1 minus A2. A1 minus A2. Why? Because the axis of symmetry is x-axis. Okay, it is symmetrical about the x-axis, so the center of mass will always lie on the x-axis. So y coordinate definitely it will be 0. If you want to check it, so y1 coordinate for this first or the outer, we can say that a disk is nothing but 0, and for smallest also it will be 0. So that means y1 y2 is 0, so automatically the YCM value will be 0. Okay, so for this question the answer is correct. That means what I want to discuss from this, either it is a subtractive system or we can say that an additive system, you can easily solve by using these important results. That means XCM, if it is a additive, you have to use the plus sign. If it is a subtractive, you have to use the negative sign. Always keep a note of this. Whenever you are measuring the x1 and x2, always take from the reference. So whatever the distance I am measuring, I am just measuring from this origin. For this complete section also, for a small section also. In the similar case, this one. Now let's move to the volume based. Let's move to the volume based. Okay. So mass based, area based. Now let me focus on the volume based. The fundamental will be same. Again, you have to use for the XCM and YCM. Instead of A1, you will use the V1. That means volume. Okay. So volume based. So I can write V1 X1 is V2 X2 divided by V1 plus V2. So what is this YCM? Similarly, I can write as V1 Y1 plus V2 Y2 divided by V1 plus V2. So let me take one example. So let us suppose this is a cone. At the bottom of this cone, there will be a hemisphere. There will be a hemisphere. Okay. There will be a hemisphere. So the height of cone, I am just assuming h is equal to 3r. H is equal to 3r, where r is the radius of this hemisphere. So this is basically a hemisphere, and this will be a cone. This will be a cone. That means one cone is there, one hemisphere is there, and at the bottom of the cone, we have added one hemisphere. Fine. What will be the center of mass of this cone? You already know. If it is a height h, then it will be h by 4 from the base. You can see the standard result which I have already discussed. Now for a hemisphere, what will be this value? Which is nothing but 3r by 8. 3r by 8. Okay, so this is the origin. 0 0 I am considering. From here I am measuring the distance. So you can check it also. This is h by 4 and this is 3r by 8. I have already mentioned in the standard result. Now what is V1? Volume is nothing but 1 by 3 pi r square h. H is nothing but 3r. So this value is pi r cube. Now what is the x1? If I want to calculate the x center of coordinate, what is the x1? So x1 means this is basically symmetrical about the y-axis. So the center of mass, or so we can say that the centroid will be at the y-axis only. That means xcm will be 0. So if you want, you can check it also. X1 value I am measuring from here. This is nothing but 0. What about this? V2 is hemisphere, that means 4 by 3 pi r cube is for a complete sphere, so this will be 2 by 3 pi r cube, and x2 value is also 0. Okay, but what about y1? Y1 is h by 4, that means 3r by 4, and y2 is 3r by 8. Okay, now you can check xcm, you will get the 0 because x1 and x2 will be 0, and you can also see this is symmetrical about the y-axis, so it will lie on the y-axis. On the y-axis, x coordinate will be 0. Okay, now for ycm, if I will talk about y center of mass, which is nothing but v1 pi r cube, y1 will be 3r by 4 plus v2. V2 is nothing but 2 by 3 pi r cube, and y2 is 3r by 8. Now you can divide with the v1 plus v2. What is v1? v1 is pi r cube plus 2 by 3 pi r cube. Fine. So once you will solve, then you will get as 3r by 5. 3r by 5. So the center of mass of this complete composite, we can say that a three-dimensional body, because hemisphere and the volume, the cone will be 3D body. That's why I have taken as a volume, which is nothing but 0 and 3r by 5. 0 and 3r by 5.